Venom, 2018. In Venom, the bio-designing organization Life Foundation is investigating space determined to track down new tenable universes. Their test finds a comet that is shrouded in cooperative life forms and investigates it. The test gets back to Earth with 4 examples. Notwithstanding, one of the examples gets away from before the test arrives at Earth and makes the spaceship crash in Malaysia. The Life Foundation recuperates the 3 contained examples and takes them to their examination lab in San Francisco. At the lab, the researchers discover that the symbiotes can't make do without an oxygen-breathing host. Furthermore, the symbiotes can't bond with only any individual. In the meantime, the missing symbiote bonds with irregular people and gradually heads out from Malaysia to the United States throughout the following half year. In San Francisco, analytical writer Eddie Brock, Tom Hardy, finds out about supposed exploratory human preliminaries directed by Life Foundation from a characterized report in the documents of his life partner in weighing, Michelle Williams. Anne is a lawyer who is addressing the Life Foundation with all due respect against the claims. Eddie has conceded a meeting with Life Foundation CEO Carlton Drake, Riz Ahmed, for an advertising piece and raises the data in the characterized report. A half year after the fact, Eddie is scarcely squeezing by subsequent to battling to look for gainful employment. He is moved toward by one of Drake's researchers who is working with the symbiotes, Dora Skirth. Dora contradicts Drake's strategies and needs to call out him. Drake's analyses have practically succeeded, however one of the symbiotes and a few guinea pigs have passed on all the while. Dora assists Eddie with breaking into the lab to look for PR. Eddie finds a vagrant that he knows, Maria, secured in a cell at the lab. Eddie endeavors to safeguard her, yet the symbiote inside her exchanges to Eddie's body without him knowing. Maria bites the dust as a component of the cycle. The caution is raised, however Eddie gets away from the lab. Be that as it may, he starts to encounter odd events due to the holding. Remembering hearing a voice for his head, Eddie goes to Anne for help and finds that she has another sweetheart who is a specialist, Dr. Dan Lewis. At the point when Lewis looks at Eddie, he finds the presence of the symbiote. In the meantime, Drake learns of Dora's treachery and spots her in a lab with the final symbiote. The symbiote bonds with Dora, yet it's anything but a fruitful holding and both Dora and the symbiote die. Drake discovers that Eddie fortified with the break symbiote and that the holding seems to have been effective. Drake arranges his men to recover Eddie since he is that latest enduring symbiote. Drake's hired soldiers go to Eddie's condo and endeavor to steal him. The symbiote structures around his body and safeguards Eddie while additionally giving him upgraded strength and speed, as well as a sped-up recuperating skill. The symbiote calls itself Toxin and makes sense of that the comet where the symbiotes were found was looking for planets where the symbiote species can have and gobble up the occupants. Toxin vows to save Eddie, assuming that he will help them in achieving their objective. Eddie breaks into the workplace of his previous business trying to turn in proof against Drake. In any case, a specialized squad shows up to arrest him. Eddie changes into Toxin and takes out the whole specialized squad. Anne observes the change and persuades Eddie to get back with her to Lewis' office. Lewis analyzes Eddie further and illuminates him that the symbiote is gradually decaying Eddie's inner organs and will wind up killing him, in spite of the fact that Toxin asserts that the organ harm can be forestalled. Eddie takes note of that from his experience that Toxin just has 2 shortcomings, fire and uproarious clamors. And places Eddie into a X-ray machine, which the commotion from makes Toxin separate. Eddie breaks into the workplace of his previous business trying to turn in proof against Drake. Notwithstanding, a SWAT group shows up to arrest him. Eddie changes into Venom and takes out the whole SWAT group. Close by, Eddie is liberated from Life Foundation guardianship by Venom, who is briefly fortified with Anne. Once more, Eddie and Venom bond, and Venom expresses that he will assist with shielding the Earth from his sort. Toxin expresses that his connections with Eddie have had an impact on his viewpoint. Toxin takes off to stop the send-off of the Life Foundation test. Toxin and Riot battle. Toxin harms the test as it takes off, which makes it detonate and kill both D. Toxin likewise gives off an impression of being a loss from the battle, in spite of the fact that Eddie makes do. And accepts the symbiote is gone, however Venom is furtively still fortified with Eddie. The pair consent to safeguard the city of San Francisco by killing lawbreakers.